Hello, and welcome to the Become Your Magic Power Hour, where we come here every Monday through Friday. Now, seems like it'll be 9 p.m. But that's what's so good about controlling your power, right? You get to decide when are you at your highest frequency, at what time, at what year, at what point. And so we get this opportunity to come here. Let me introduce myself. I am the Prophetic Soul Coach, poet, mom of 5 amazing kids, a wife of 18 amazing years, but most importantly, I'm somebody who is here on assignment. And so we come here in order to figure out what that is. How do we get out of our pain into our power by seizing all of those abracadabra moments that make us who we are, that turn us into our superstar. And this is Chef Ron over here enjoying his dinner he just made. There she is. You were looking for me. Here I is. I was just wondering where my sis is. You know how that time be working for us. But anyway, we got a good, interesting topic today. And so I am telling you, this is something that you want to share, tag your friend, wake them up, get in on this conversation, because what makes becoming your magic so powerful, how we get to do that is really by showing up with our ideas, with our perspectives, with our experiences, so that we can maybe shine some light in somebody else's darkness. And so at this time, let me see, I'm going to share. Thank you, baby. Let me see something. I think I can bring that a little bit lighter. Okay, here we go. So anywho, I'm gonna go find myself so I can share too.
If you can cut your steak with a fork.
If you can cut your steak with a fork. Well, he don't want to be the only one chewing. Trying to set me up for tomorrow's replay.
Y'all see? I'm cutting it with a fork.
Let me turn it down so you can see.
I'm cutting that thing with a fork. Come on now. You cutting it with a fork. Come on now. Let me stop showing off.
Oh, so like I said, you can also
book me. Book Chef Ron.
Book Chef Ron if you're in the Charlotte area.
Private settings. I come cook for you. When you want to do some real fly stuff for your old lady or for your man, book me. I'll come chef y'all up. Have a real nice setup. Y'all just book me. Chef
especially
Ron,
in the pandemic.
OneBiteCatering.com. OneBiteCatering.com. I got you.
You didn't put this meat in my mouth. Let me finish. Oh, pause. So yeah, we are excited about today's conversation.
Where's everybody at?
They coming in. They ready to have this conversation. I hope y'all got y'all fingers ready. I hope you are ready to actually devour in this one, because this is a good one. Star says Ron be making everything look like it tastes like heaven. Can't tell you, he be eating it like, you ever see Uncle Roger eat? Oh my goodness. My Godfather eats everything like it is the most delicious thing. He made me want to eat onions one time. Didn't do it, but he almost made me want to. Tell us about the Christmas specials from Ron. I've already got peeps interested in Christmas turkeys, y'all. See? Let him chef you up. We definitely got some
the Christmas special I got, it's $200, but I do deliver on Christmas Day. But it's only a certain number of slots that I do.
Right.
So once all the slots gone, the shit is gone. But you get a fried or a smoked turkey. Just your choice, however you want to cook. Then you also get a pan of macaroni and cheese and a pan of green beans and some dinner rolls and a honey bun cake. You get dessert. So you get the turkey, 2 sides, bread, and dessert. And you're good to go. 200 to your door Christmas Day. Ain't nobody dropping off no home cooked meals on Christmas Day. Are you gonna go Del Frisco's?
Good question.
Come on now.
So you gotta be intentional.
I say it feed 12 to 15 people.
Okay, are we ready? Let me find out what the topic is again. So today's topic is raising your kids old school versus new school. Guess who came up with that? None other than Chef Ron over here. He knows that is, and I think it's good to have conversations that actually make us think, compare, contrast, learn from one another.
Okay. I don't come on here ever acting like
I
know it all. I'm not. I just try to live through my experiences and give advice through the experiences that I've had, whether they've been bad experiences or good experiences.
Uh-huh.
Either way, I learned from every experience that I had to go through. So I had a lot of bad ones. So I got a lot of good advice on what not to do. And it's good when you got somebody that can tell you what not to do, as opposed to why you should do something this way. You should do this and you should do that. And they ain't even doing it. Listen to the person that's doing it, and they can tell you what not to do.
Okay, so what are some, let's start by saying, what are some, as a parent, what are some things that are a must? Like, what do you require from your kids as a parent that you think, oh, no, how about this? What don't you require from your kids as a parent that you think that maybe your parents required of you?
Not that you think. What do you do differently from your parents? It should always be a shift. It should always be a change.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're always evolving as people in general. It's just a scientific fact. You evolve every 10 years with somebody different.
And the reason why we say old school versus new school is I think sometimes we want the same thing to work, the same thing, to keep on, I guess, leveling us up. We want the same type of instructions. And I think that if the world evolves and things change, that don't you have to parent them different? Where it came a time when we were growing up, it was you were the seen and not be heard. You couldn't respond back. That's like from my era. How about yours?
You can't question.
That's the better word. You can't question an adult, and I know that and I'm not talking about even if it wasn't disrespectfully. So, is that something that your parents did to you and you carried on that tradition of saying, listen, you are to be heard and, you're not supposed to respond. If you have a disagreement or a difference of opinion from me, you keep it to yourself. I mean, how many people were raised like that per se to an extent?
Oh, that honey bun cake.
Oh, yeah.
Is official. I got a recipe from Miss Betty Sturtevant.
Rondell, we'll jump from topic.
That's Pastor Sturtevant. That's Pastor Carl Sturtevant's church. That's his name is church. It's so bad.
Okay, keep it moving.
Yeah, but
we're gonna put the thing in.
Pastor Sturtevant, Miss Sturtevant, First Lady Miss Sturtevant, man, she taught me how to make that honey bun cake. They're my people. House of Jew.
That's it.
The House of Jew.
Okay.
Here in Charlotte, North Carolina. His wife.
Now don't be telling them they're gonna have no honey bun cake waking now. I don't know about that. I don't know if it's after service cake now.
Bun cake is
don't say Chef Ron told y'all that there's honey bun cake waiting afterwards. But serious, back to where we were.
Okay. Old school versus new school.
Old school versus new school. Old school. Let's get some things that are old school so that we can say what are we versing. So what is the first old school thing that you think is versus new school from what we can see in the world?
Don't sit too close to the TV.
Old school, new school.
But do you know why we sat close to the TV?
Because they were so small?
No, because we couldn't see the shit that good. You look at old TV shows, they so flurry, they so fuzzy, and it's terrible. We didn't have HD TV in the 70s and the 80s.
But I don't know that that's not a new school. Because I'm telling you, you still tell your kids to
we sat at the front. We sat close to the TV because we couldn't see the TV. Our kids don't have to sit close to the TV because everything is HD. It look like you can reach your hand in the screen. What I'm basically trying to say is different times for different times. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, you saying that it was a rule then.
There was a reason.
There was a reason they were saying that.
There was a reason why we were sitting close. Nobody asked us why y'all sitting so close to the TV. They just said, don't sit close. It's going to mess up your eyes. And I had 20/20 vision my whole life. I just started losing my stuff, my shit about, what I had to renew last? Probably about 35.
Okay, but that's light. That is not what we want to talk about with this topic. You at the TV or you not at the TV?
I'm just saying the TV.
I'm saying, what different practices do you remember from old school, your grandparents, your parents, in comparison to how you operate and move with your children or your nieces and nephews? Can you see a difference between your parents and the way you were treated by your aunts and uncles and other people that represented adults and authority in your life compared to now? Do you think you are the same to your generation that you're impacting as they were to you? Can you talk?
To be honest, I'm gonna say my generation, we kind of dropped the ball. No, we didn't we dropped the damn ball. My generation. If you was born between 1970,
don't put them on me in your mouth.
1970. If you was born between 1970 and 1980, we dropped the ball, man. We dropped the ball. I remember growing up. I had all kind of mentors, man. I could have talked to anybody. Like I didn't have to. I had my daddy in my life. My daddy raised. I was raised with my mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, a lot of other kids my age didn't have that. But it was so many other men that really stepped in. Like I don't really see that from my generation. Like I know some guys. Like even with the sports. Like I met a lot. I have a lot of friends. People I call friends that I've met through sports, team sports. I know a lot of guys that were tremendous athletes. And they don't, of course they don't play now. Like a lot of people, if I could tell you a sad story for everybody that didn't make it, I know a couple people that made it, but I know a lot of people that should have made it and didn't make it. But what that being said was they had the mentors there. We had the mentors. Like, what do these kids got now? We say these kids are crazy. They on, like most of the kids on drugs. They very violent.
Do you think it is because, which I think, I said we're in a season of the pandemic, reminds me of quality over quantity. Do you think it's because we've gotten so conditioned to having stuff and material things that we miss the quality? Because the reason why that person was able to mentor and that person was able to be there is because they wasn't chasing.
But see, that's what a
lifestyle.
That's where the shift changed.
Yeah,
from our generation, from us raising kids to our parents raising us. It wasn't so much on material stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us more substance.
Right.
But it was, it really wasn't that much stuff to buy. Nowadays, man, there's so much different stuff that you have to buy that these people you need, like cell phones. Like you need your cell phone. I didn't need a cell phone growing up. We didn't even have call waiting, I think, until I got to probably middle school, high school. Yeah. You call my house and
that's another major thing. Let's pause right there. I know people always say, why does the 10-year-old have a phone? Why does this one have a phone? Well, I mean, my 10-year-old don't, but I'm just saying these are different topics and stuff that I hear people speaking about, and I think is different. Like, how many people actually have landlines? So we live in a world that's so crazy, and you always can know about the, the bad part of it, but there are, like you said, reasons. The reason why now every 10-year may need a cell phone is because maybe their house doesn't have a landline. Maybe they have their latchkey kid. Latchkey kid. Mm-hmm. And, you're busy working, because I think that's we're going back to that.
They have to let themselves in at school. Right. That's normal. That's how a lot of people live. Like your kids come in after school, let themselves in. They know they can't go out the house and do nothing till you come home. So if you don't have a landline, then of course you're gonna give them a cell phone. So you just checking in on your kids. It's about safetyness. It's a whole lot of stuff that comes along with that phone, man. A lot of people, like my kids, they even do their homework off their phone. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like a big difference. Mm-hmm. Between now and then, the way we was raised. And some of the older people, they'll be like, well, y'all wasn't raised like this. You wasn't. I can't raise my children the same way that I was raised. So what I've decided to do,
because first of all, it's a different time, a different world. That's key. That's key.
That's what I was about to say, but you cut me out. What I try to do is I take all the stuff that taught me things that I take all the good stuff that my parents did for me, and then I apply that. Plus, I add on what I felt like could have made me better. What I think could have made me better. You understand what I'm saying? Not saying that my parents didn't do everything that they could do for me. I wouldn't say that. They did what they could do for me. I tried to file TV. I'm gonna die.
He almost
God damn. Okay.
Do you believe that?
They did what they're supposed to do. So, you know, not saying that I got some good parents. My parents are good parents. What they're supposed to do. Now, whew.
Are you okay? He's gonna gather himself right there. So I guess the point of the matter is what he was just saying, that we are different. First of all, let me catch up on some comments while you catching up on your breath.
Jeez.
So Star says we was not really allowed to express ourselves.
No.
Yeah, that's so true. We were not really allowed to express ourselves when we were unhappy with a situation. And like I said, that is, and then we learn to grow up with that behavior. So that's old school versus new school. A lot of times you would say, oh, well, the kid could have a little sassy. I want you to know that it's balanced. There's a way to teach them confidence and to teach them a voice without them being disrespectful. So I want us to understand that it is a way to allow kids to understand that we care about their perspective. We care about how certain things make them feel because they are learning to tap into those feelings. They're learning to address situations as kids, right? Because they're developing. It's training, right? They come through you. They don't belong to you. So you're training them. And I think if I would say old school versus new school, I really like the concept of being able to have my kids be open with communication, to have them actually freely say, I don't like this or I do like that, or you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you may have to reel them in because you do, it's easy for people to lose sight or misunderstand freedom. But that's why it's so important to let them know that they have a voice, but at the same time, make sure that they know how to be respectful with their voice.
Let your kids have a voice. If not now,
then when?
When will they ever get their voice? It don't just come to you.
And one of the major things I teach when I be doing my different speaking with the books and doing those things is understanding that the reason why they need a voice now is because once they leave and they become adults, and then you ask them something and you wonder why they don't have an opinion, is because they never practice that. And so practice makes permanent. Doesn't make perfect in my book. It makes permanent. And so the things you practice today becomes permanent habits and behaviors and basically permanent situations that you keep on finding yourself in. And so we got to learn to be able to let them have a voice, allow them to practice their emotion, responding so that they can have control. I think a lot of us get out of control because of that restraint of not having a voice. I know every day Rondell tell me, Lord. And I say the same thing to him because we are all growing through, I guess, the times that we were silenced, the times that we felt like we had to be dumb. And I think old school, our new word, I think old school made kids dumb. Right?
Say that.
Well, what do we know dumb mean? Well, can't you say that? What did they say dumb was?
You're right.
He just forgot already our lesson from last week. Dumb means what? To be speechless, to be silent, to have no voice. That's what dumb means, period. Doesn't mean you're stupid. It means you have no voice, that you are speechless. Cat got your tongue. So in a time when you say you are to be seen and not heard, then you are teaching them to be dumb. To not practice their voice, their sound, that, that they matter. And so I would say one of those old school versus new school, I would pick new school with that perspective as long as you can have a level of balance in it. You don't want them to have a voice to the point where they're cussing you out. You got to be able to teach them. And I think the more that you empower them through positive affirmations, the more they respect you. Because I'm going to tell you, I hardly ever had to spank any of my 5 kids, but if I went down there, even yesterday, I had to talk to one of them. I ain't even gonna say who, but I went down and talked to them, and when I say just tears, you would think that I had bust them up, and all I didn't use nothing but, and even encouraging words, like, I expect this, and I know that you have that, and it just has them just in tears, because that is what they need to have, that type of love and support from you that makes them want to be the best that they want to be, and the only way they are able to start doing that is by knowing that their voice matters. And so that's one thing that I would say. I'll pick new school over old school. And if you're listening, man, which one do you pick? Old school kids being silent or new school?
Old school parents were mean as hell to kids, man. Yeah. Like, it's a lot of things that I was participating in that I hated to do because of how mean the damn grown-ups were that were controlling it over the program. Like, it was terrible, especially like in church. I can't even say what I want to say because they know exactly what I'm talking about. Man, why can't I chew gum? If we finish singing, I done sung 3 songs on the choir. We finished singing. Why I gotta spit my gum out? I can sing with gum in my mouth. Let them kids be. They already don't want to be. We already don't want to be here, man. Mm-hmm. We don't want to be here. Y'all sing. We don't understand this right now. So make it fun.
That's a good point.
So that's what I try to do. I make certain things. I make stuff more fun. I even had some coaches be like, "Man, I'm coaching 8-year-old kids to 10-year-old kids. I'm coaching little kids, not no damn high school kids, not even middle school. Little kids. These are little kids. Y'all tell me, man, yeah, man, I think y'all laugh and play around too much at practice, huh? What do you mean, bruh? Well, we supposed to be like the military with 10-year-olds or 8-year-olds, 6-year-olds. We supposed to be military. You know what they're gonna do? They're not gonna want to come back. It's not fun. Man. You have to make stuff fun for children, man. And then while you're making it fun, now you can spoon feed them a little bit. Drop jewels on them. Mm-hmm. Now you dropping jewels. Now you got that rapport. Now they got that trust with you. Yep. They trust you, so they're gonna listen to what you're saying.
Mm. Therefore,
but if you're making shit complicated, it's like anything. You always got that one supervisor on the job, or if you ever work the job, you got that one supervisor, that one boss that's just an asshole, man. Nobody likes to. Oh God, here comes such and such. You don't want to be that person, man. You don't want to be that person. And if you're that person, change. What the hell?
Yeah.
My mom right now, my mom be mad at she get mad at every little. I said, Mom, I said, man, you 62 years old. You ain't got that much longer. What is you in here mad at stuff for? Live your life. Have fun. Enjoy what you got left.
Yeah.
Nobody lives forever.
Yeah.
What are you still? You 60-something years old. You still mad? People making you mad. You don't like the way people doing things. I don't like the way they. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You old school people. I'm talking to y'all. I'm new school. See, that's what messed me up too because I couldn't say what I want to say, express how I want to speak.
And oh my God,
I say whatever I want to say to whoever is listening. And since I don't have no respected person. I don't have no respected person. I will talk to you the same way I talk to anybody. Now, I ain't gonna say I'm not disrespectful when I talk to you, but I can tell you straight up. Mm-hmm. Like I can tell you, somebody asked, man, how much you be charging for your job? Man, none of your damn business. None of your business what I charge.
Yeah.
What kind of question is that? Stuff like that.
Let's get to some of these comments. What is it? This season, probably out of all of them, has taught my family as a whole that the material stuff isn't as necessary as we thought. Even the stuff we think we depend on. I think that's what the pandemic has taught a whole lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
60 and up people.
You want the 60 and up, you need to get some perspective. You need some perspective. Why they were so damn mean.
Why was y'all so damn mean, bruh?
And I think that's what I was saying. I think I am so.
I'm telling you, ask anybody my age, they be like, man, I used to hate going to such and such because of Miss such and such or Mr. such and such. I made it terrible for you working with the youth, man. These people are going to lead us one day.
Yeah.
Don't make them bitter towards you. Is anybody that has bitter feelings towards you is going to listen to anything you say? I doubt it. I seriously doubt anybody
Melissa got jokes.
that's bitter towards you will
She
will listen to anything that you're gonna say.
Well,
So how can we teach these kids?
Well, you know, Ron, when we went to school, we walked uphill both ways, barefoot in the snow. Honey, Rondell, please tell them what you tell the kids. Tell them what you tell the kids. Huh? Tell them what you tell the kids.
I walked like 5 miles to school, man. I showed him why I did that.
We went to where he went to college at, and he drove us, and he was like, this is where y'all see where the college is. And he drove for miles and miles and miles and said that he used to walk to school every day. And let me tell you something, because...
See, I went to Claflin when it was Claflin College. It's Claflin University now. And Orangeburg, South Carolina, it's on the same damn lot as South Carolina State. Same lot. We walked through a fence in South Carolina State. And they jumped me down there too. So I'm looking for you guys from 1998 that jumped me October 1998.
Moving right along. Give the kids their voice as early as possible. I see this now. That's why I'm signing my kids up for the I See Me Academy. I'm so excited. Oh my God, they're going to have the best time. For those of you that don't know about the I See Me Academy, I definitely put the link up right underneath here. Today is the last day for, actually up until tomorrow, until midnight is the last day for the early bird.
Now, I'm going to say this too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm going to say this too. I was saying,
he didn't want me to cut him off though, right?
People are mean towards kids, right? Yo. Now, some kids you got to cuss out. Some of these kids is out of damn control. You're going to have to cuss them out. But they gone already. Then the ones you got to cuss them out to bring them back in. But you don't have to cuss out every kid. Some kids are just, and then these kids are they're so damn fragile. They're not as tough as we used to be. They are not as tough.
That is so true.
As we used to be.
Yeah.
And they will cry and quit on your ass. They will cry and quit on you.
And so let me see. So now that's a side effect.
Too mean.
And I was about to say, we was a
little bit stronger. We suffered in silence.
But wait, time out. So then that is a conscious. So now we go back to that. So do you think that perhaps that we were as tough as we were because of the way we were treated? Because anything will make you stronger like that. So what would you say is about finding balance? Because we are strong cookies. We can endure. I used to get picked on about I never came home and was like, I got bullied. I got teased every day as a little kid with locks. Now today, honey, they putting on the fake ones and everything. I'll go back to that little girl, the little Precious who got teased, and I say, girl, you are a queen out here. You hear me? They are buying the length of your hair. So you see, you live to Homecoming Queen 1998. But I mean, you live to actually get over the stuff that people didn't understand about you. Because I tell you, look at me today. You know what I mean? People love locks now. Now they understand locks. Now it's a fashion. You know what I mean? But back then, nobody had it. And so, but we were tougher because we knew we wasn't going to waste our time talking about no kid keep picking on us. You might get in trouble for that. It's like I think in the old time, you can get in trouble for anything. You don't even know what you can get in trouble for. And I think that's why we suffered in silence for so long, because we were afraid of the reactions. We were afraid of where we end up. I mean, we had so much fear. So I really feel like the old school versus the new school, we were trapped more.
They didn't do it wrong. They just did it
how they were taught.
They had to do it during that time.
Yeah.
And we had to do it the way we have to do it during this time.
And not even that too.
I don't know why it's hard, but
I also would say this. I wouldn't even say how they had to do it in their time, because your emotions and all of that's personal work. So that's not how they had to do it at their time. It is learned behavior. You see, in order to change cycles, it is to do unto others as you were one done unto you. And so, like you said, what you started with was the reason why he changed the way he showed up as a parent was due to the way he felt he was parented. And most of us understand that old school wise, that's how it was. We were
what's the biggest?
We were treated a certain kind of way. We were spoke about, we just didn't have that voice. And so I think it was easy for us to grow up sheltered and hiding. And so even when I was married to Rondell, my God, I was with him for years before I could even share my abuse and, just what I dealt with. He didn't even know, and he was my husband. It was 3 years ago.
Man, I didn't know it was 3 years ago.
It was way longer than 3 years ago, honey. But anyway, his math is when we just moved over here. You telling me that?
Biggest misconception. Because you drink alcohol, which it is spirits. They call spirits for a reason. If you drink alcohol, don't drink alcohol. If you drink alcohol,
if you think alcohol,
you can't talk to God. You can't be holy. You can't be. It's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's only a bad thing if you choose it to be a bad thing.
So it still goes back to choices.
Choices.
Everything we
old
do.
School people. Like I used
taught
to be
us that. Oh, that was.
I can't drink in front of my mom. And I'm 35. I'm 30 something years old. I'm like, oh, my mom and dad come. I can't drink. What? You 30 something years old and can't have a drink in your house because your mom and dad home. That's crazy.
Now that's real fear, isn't it?
That's how it was, though. That was my life. That's how it was.
Now I can say that when we were growing up, oh my God, you didn't want to play with my mama. But as an adult, you don't want to play with my mama. But you know, she didn't like.
I tell you what,
try to control us as adults.
Like you know, took me and got me drunk as hell. When I turned 18, I probably would have never drunk again.
Honey, when she was done parenting us, she was done parenting us.
So
and that's another thing, right?
Like me, like my kids turn 18, I get them drunk. I'm not going to send them to school, to college, and they've never had a drink before. That's crazy. Now, you can read books on how to raise your children. I see a lot of people do that. It's hilarious to me because that book is talking about their children. That has nothing to do with your children. You have to teach your children through the relationship that you build. The relationship that you build will tell you who they are and what they're going to need from you. The book's not going to do that for you. Okay, it may give you some advice. You can get advice from anybody. Just look at somebody with a whole bunch of kids. If their kids are doing well, then you go get advice from that person. Hey, man, how did you... You understand what I'm saying? I mean,
and it's about being transparent because I like that you said that. You know, your kids go off to college. They do what college kids do. And then we have so many stories of date rape and just being at a frat party. Why? Because they decided to drink for the first time, not knowing how they would react.
With these kids, man.
Because you know, and then especially if you was a parent, like I wasn't the person I can honestly say I was a very good kid growing up. Not good as in I'm saying I was scared. I was fearful. So if you said that you can't drink, Precious ain't having to drink. If you said that you can't smoke, if mommy said Precious is not going to smoke. Precious is not making any decisions that I can't make until I'm of age and make my own decisions. You know what I'm saying? So I was real scary like that. And then I just got my own mindset, my own personality as time went on.
Most of our parents are from the 70s. They grew up in the 70s. They were born in the 50s. Got raised in the 60s, but grew up in the 70s, like was teenagers in the 70s. Most of our parents, or my parents were. So back in the 70s, man, everybody used drugs. So instead of teaching your children about real stuff, they try to hide. Parents hide stuff, and it's not going to help your children later on. Listen, God gave you these children because of what you went. He knew you was a tool he knew you was a light that they needed to prepare them for life and their assignment and their journey in life. So you have to take your experiences, the tools that you learn, and you pass it on to your children so that they can be better people. You don't hide the mistakes that you've done. You don't hide the foolish stuff you did. You tell them. I tell you, man, your daddy was dumb. I used to do dumb stuff.
Now, I want to stop you right there because I think that is key. Old school versus new school I think the new school is a lot more transparent than the old school. So I think a lot of things, no, I'm going to tell you why. The new school, can I finish? The reason why we would be more transparent than the old school is that those conversations that we have, if they would feel a way, it is automatically fixed because they know more. In old school, we weren't speaking to our parents. Our parents wasn't explaining to us the stuff that they've been through. So we didn't understand their rage. We didn't understand their feelings. We didn't understand why they did what they did because we took it personal. But if you sit down and be like, listen, life is like this. Like, say Christmas is coming, and you know you teaching your kids about Santa, but you know that you don't have it or whatever the case may be, and you sit down and you're like, listen, you are transparent because the jig is up now, and you're like, listen, this is how life is. We're not going to be able to do this. They'll respect you more. But instead, you don't have the conversation. Christmas comes and they're just disappointed. So they carry that. So I think communication is key. So if there are issues or situations that are going on, you can have real conversations. You don't have to use big words.
Some people say, well, you shouldn't put kids in grown-ups' business and grown-up stuff.
Well, how else they going to find out?
How else they going to be grown up?
How else they going to grow into themselves?
And become adult.
That's right.
Groom people into being
that's the word.
Adult people with that use their right sense, that use good sense, that know right from wrong.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You got to groom people, man.
And
that's what they didn't do. They just told us to be like this.
With no explanations.
And no examples.
And no examples.
You be cussing and you be, man, everybody around me cursed. How you gonna tell me I can't curse? That's crazy. That is so crazy. I got some people that, could you please don't cuss around my kids? So when they go to a basketball game, when they're in high school, when they get to middle school, nobody's gonna be. Hell, when they get to 6th grade, 5th grade, those kids curse, man. We cursed. Calm down. It's okay if your kids hear cuss words. It's okay. It's a part of the world. It's a part of life. They're going to hear them. They're more than likely going to use them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no big deal. It's just like taboo. It's a whole bunch of taboo stuff that we held on to that we didn't need it. We don't need to hold on to that stuff. That's not going to make or break your children because they say cuss words. My daughter cussed just as much good as me. And guess what? She got all A's. Her second year in college. She on the damn chance. She ain't on no dean's list.
She's on the chancellor's list. And she used cuss words.
Cuss away.
19-year-old.
That didn't affect her life at all. So I mean, it's just people just like.
Now she don't be walking around cussing like Andrew Dice, Clay or nothing.
You're wasting energy on frivolous stuff. When she get mad, let her get mad.
But she may get mad and say cuss, and I don't be like
anybody.
You cussing on your mom, huh? Like she has graduated.
You cuss every day. I'm gonna tell you can't curse. But that's still that old school
thinking. You think it's disrespectful, right? And I'm thinking, what if it's disrespectful to be cussed at when you're a kid? But when you become of age, what is that still? We're talking about raising up kids, but what about that new generation of parent that still want to be the parent and you're like 40? You're like 30. It's like you lost. Is it? This is me on here. So that, there's so much. And I think that parents that are so overwhelming after the fact is just because sometimes you think you want to go back and do it over because at the end of the day, you are upset at the finished product. Like you want everything to be the way you want it to be, but you don't know who they are becoming or where they're going.
Your children to become adults by teaching them the things that you learned that can help them get ahead. Okay, teaching them the things
not
that
a ceiling now
that you learn that you can get ahead. You got me? That's all you got to do. And then you have to trust that you did what you're supposed to do. Okay, what I mean by trust is if your daughter's in her 2nd year of college and she says she's going to a party, and you call her every 10, 15 minutes, are you still at the party? Are you going? You're doing too much, man. You're doing the most. Calm down. Let your kids go. You gotta trust it. If you can't trust your kids to go out and be great, that means you didn't do what you were supposed to do as a parent. Don't hold that against them.
Or you don't trust that they too have to go through their own molding process. Like your parents would have wanted something,
Why don't you trust it?
I don't think that it's not that you don't trust it. It's just that you just want them to get it perfect, and it's not about perfection. It's about process. And process makes them that perfect God piece. So you want to protect them and stop them, but that doesn't protect them to an extent, right? You want to protect them against themselves, but then you got to teach them to have a voice. You have to teach them the essential things in order to equip them, right? And that's just what life is. And you realize that most of the equipment comes here.
Look, let me show you how it works. I allow my children to curse. They say cuss words. Every last one of them. Now, I may have only heard Rayvon and Essence actually say a cuss word. But they don't walk around here saying, motherfucker, mother, MF, something happens, they get excited, you might get an or a guy or a GD. You understand what I'm saying? You might get that, or what the hell? Like, it's just normal, things happen outside. Because, what the, I mean, that's just what it is. But
you don't hold on and beat them down.
Them to do that and don't make a big deal out of it, they don't even fucking do it. They don't even do it.
They don't feel, they feel weird.
We had a bar in our house, I know, for at least 8 years, 8 to 10 years. They don't even sneak the liquor. Y'all know y'all used to sneak liquor. Y'all born around my age. Y'all used to sneak liquor. Y'all know y'all did. They won't even sneak the liquor around. We don't say, get away from my bar, don't y'all? As soon as y'all turn 18, y'all know y'all turning up. They know it. My daughter turned 18. I said, hey, you know what she said? No, I'm good.
That's exactly what she said.
No, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Won. Did she take a drink when we in around? Probably so.
Maybe.
She said she did. She said she was drinking some mad. I told my daughter.
At the college life, 1 year, she got 6 months in.
I would take her and go get her alcohol if she wants alcohol. Like the good stuff. We didn't get to get. We had to go to get the Boone's Farm and Cisco and Mad Dog 20.
You're the illegal daddy. That's what you're saying.
The Mad Dog 20 illegal.
You said I would take her to go get. Oh, you talking about take her in the aspect of.
Yeah, you show me a college kid that don't drink. I show you a college kid that's
a liar.
No, that don't got no friends.
Well, I didn't get to go to college, so I don't. He was my insight because I didn't go to college, but he did, so he knew. So he was
drinking, you smoking, and you having sex. Those are 3 things that your children will do in college. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm here to tell you. You got a kid in college, they're going to do one of the 3 things.
One of the 3, not all 3, right?
The scholars from the people on academic probation is, the people on academic probation, they do all 3. They're doing all 3 activities. So you don't have time for schoolwork when you're doing all 3 of those activities. Now you have some that don't drink or smoke, but they popping buns like a mug. I knew a couple of girls that didn't drink or smoke. They were popping buns like McDonald's, popping buns. So, you got to take the good with the bad. The 3, I'd rather my daughter be drinking than be popping buns. So that's just me. You know what I'm saying? But hey, one of the 3, they're doing one of the 3. So just get over it.
I guess
be okay with it.
You're a realist.
They're the same as you. They want the same things you want. When you was 18, 19.
To be older than before your time, and now we're 40 and 41. Can y'all remember?
The do's and don'ts. I tell my daughter, hey, that's fine. I know y'all drinking in school, but don't be fucking driving. Don't ever drive if you're drinking.
That's right.
Don't ever drive. Don't get in the car with nobody that's been drinking and driving. Don't do that. That's how you explain life, man. Yeah. So they don't get caught in no damn situation. I know people that didn't talk to their kids about alcohol. Guess what happened? DUIs.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? Talk to you got to be real. You got to
have real conversations,
man. And you got to be transparent with your children, which I don't feel that the older generation was with us. They wasn't really transparent. They just told us not to do things,
and we figured out a lot of stuff when we became adults.
Do this and don't do that. Do this and then we had to figure.
We had the picture. I'm talking about we had a lot of pictures. 16. You know how we had a lot of pictures, and then when you became adults, you was like, oh, okay, that was the picture. Oh, that was the picture. It's like you didn't even know what you knew or what you didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Not like Mickey D's. They're fucking buns like Mickey D's.
Listen, mama bills will always be mama bills. I never went to college either. Yeah, I did.
I was still Ron saying it right. Now is the reason I encourage entrepreneurship over college, and she's 100% right.
Because Essence just asked today, will you be mad if Wavon or somebody didn't go to college? I was like, no, it depends on what his plans are for his life.
What is his plan for his
life? What are the plans for his life? What do he want to do? Does it require college? Do you need to spend all those years in a certain area? It depends on who you want to be or what you have to do. Do you need business courses? That would dictate. So I can't say now that it's mandatory. It's not mandatory. It's mandatory that you know what it is you want to do so that we can create a plan to make sure you can take care of yourself. Take care of your dreams, desires. Make sure you're living a fulfilled life, not feeling trapped, not feeling sad, not feeling in debt.
Like I said, some truth to that. Like, to me, I know there are millionaires that teach like college. There are millionaires that teach college, but there are no teachers that teach that are millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make $1 million teaching.
Yeah.
So how can you? What are you teaching my kids? If their objective is to be a millionaire, what are they really learning?
Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. You really got to be able to.
But like I said, that's the old versus the new.
Old versus
new.
They
didn't teach me about entrepreneurship. They told me get a job. Oh, you need to get you a job. Boy, you better get your job. Where you get a job? You get a job. Oh, you got the new job now. Oh, you got the what?
Mm-hmm.
And I worked plenty of jobs. When I say I've been working since 12, man. I had yards at 12. $15 front and back. That's what we used to do. My homeboy Var put me on. Var had one of the first dudes with a yard. He used to cut his neighbor yard $15 every 2 weeks. I said, man.
Oh, cheers.
I need to do that. I already took mine.
I know. That's
I
what I said. I just cheersed you.
Say, man, I need to do that. So I started doing it. I got me 2 yards. So I was making $30 every 2 weeks. $60 a month. I thought I was the man. At $60 a month, y'all. Then I got my first job at McDonald's. I was making $4.25 an hour. I was 15 years old. $4.25 an hour. Every 2 weeks, I was working Saturday and Sunday. 11 to 5. 11 to 5. Get my checks every 2 weeks. My checks was god dang on 1, 2, 3, 4 days. My checks was $154 every 2 weeks. So I made $75.
Cheers, Melissa.
$75 a weekend now. And because I'm good at math, I'm really good at math. It didn't add up to me.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't add up to me. So I started finding other avenues to generate more income.
And let me tell you about like-minded that helps. Now, before I met Rondell, I never worked. I always was an entrepreneur. I had locks. And those very locks that I started with about 15 years old, everybody loved my hair. And I actually started doing everybody's hair. I went to a church. My church, everybody had locks. So now I became an entrepreneur at like 15, 16. So I'm making $60 an hour. And it takes me about an hour to do somebody's hair. So that was, and I'm 15, I'm 16-year-old. I get a job as a live mannequin. So even those is not like, you know what I mean? So we already had that entrepreneurship kind of mindset. Like, first of all, don't really want a boss because hate waking up early. Don't like people telling you, like, feeling like they own you because you are helping them. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that attitude. So I already always had that little thing, especially
insubordinate.
No, not insubordinate. I said I'm grown as hell.
The lady. Y'all watch Everybody Hates Chris. She's the mama. Everybody Hates Chris. I don't need this job. My husband got 3 jobs. I'm here doing y'all a favor.
And I was. Their numbers was up. The teams were hyped up. I was like the Mother Teresa, honey. They called me Mama P at the call center. I was working at the where would I? It was a holiday.
Sit with us, Melissa.
Where was I working, honey? Because I would do it like it would be like seasonal Red Cross, honey. They called me Mama P, but we both was entrepreneurs.
How grown women have a sleepover? I said something wrong with this girl. She had a damn sleepover.
I had a bunch of
co-workers,
grown women. I had Rondell cook because he been a chef, and I was like, "Why don't you guys come over?" And I had them come over, and we cooked, we laughed, we joked, and I did a sleepover with grown people. And I worked there for 3 months. So like, yeah, don't put me out there. I'm just But I love that we both understood that, because if you had somebody who was used to clocking in, and you had an entrepreneur mindset, that's a big, that's a wall that you hit, because now you're missing that support. But if you got somebody that kind of got the concept, maybe not as your way or that way, but it all leads to the same place. I always say, Rondell, if you use your powers for good, you'll be great. And look at him today. He's amazing, right, baby? Amazing.
Say it one more time.
You're amazing. You're amazing. But
I'm all right.
I'm all right.
What I need to do to get by.
Pressy Press, guess what? I had a friend come by tonight and she needs some bling from the boutique. I will get with you tomorrow. She went shopping in my closet. I may need to actually just bring her by, meet you, and met you at the lake. Oh, yes. She wants more than what I had here, and now I'm running low on inventory. You better say it, Queen. This is the holiday season. Matter of fact, I am promise you, I will be live tomorrow in the boutique. I got some stuff that are going on sale. Like, I just got to get rid of all this stuff because I got some new items that I got to create to shift out the season. So I'm going to have $10 masks. Now, everything you see will be one of a kind. Once it's gone, it's gone. I don't have multiples of it. It is the mannequin sale. So the things that have graced these beautiful mannequins only worn by I Choose Me Bling Boutique Mannequin Style. Those outfits that created the site, I'm going to now have on clearance. So t-shirts will be $15, and there are a few that have a matching mask and set, and you will get that for $25. And they are largest, smalls, mediums. I don't know. Depends on what it is, but I always did it in different sizes for when we do the clearance sale. So tomorrow we're going to do a live clearance sale. So I want you guys to tune in. Since we'll be here at 9, I think I'm going to do it in the afternoon. So it'll probably be about 6, not in the afternoon, but right when people are just getting home comfortable. So I'm thinking about 6 p.m. But we had the 51-minute mark. And do you have any? Well, actually, let me see what these comments are. Ron, I need some potato salad for real.
Potato salad be jumping.
But I mean,
homeboy said, "Man, I don't even eat this.
But I think you need to ask yourself that question. Are you an old school parent? Are you a new school parent? And did you change somewhere along the line? Were you a new school that had to go old school? Were you an old school that saw that you had a different kid so you can go new school? Because one thing that's real important about what we were saying on the way when we were talking before we started going live, we were saying that you get to decide that, right? Your kids are different. And so maybe one kid you got to be old school and another one you got to be new school. You don't have to feel like you're treating them the same because they're not the same.
You got to have a relationship with your children.
You hear me? Don't let nobody tell you, your kids are not the same. They got different personalities. They got different assignments. They got different goals. Essence can sit down.
Ask this question. Are you and your sister the same? Are you and your brother the same?
So you got to be willing to treat them each differently.
And that takes a lot of time and patience. But they are well worth it.
So worth it. So worth it.
To see these young people become prospering adults is so well worth it.
You should promote it with a special name and do it twice. Yes, right? I am. Do a 30-minute at lunch. I'm with that. About 12:30? Yeah, I think I could do 12 to 12:30. That sounds good. Then do a full-on sale setup in the evening. I'm with you. I'm coming to shop for sure. I'm with you, boo. I got you. I'm soliciting all advice in this last. How many days we got, y'all? How many days we got today? Let's see what's on the calendar. Today is Monday, the 14th. Tomorrow, our youngest, our twin boys will be turning 11. Can you believe it's been 11 years since I was pregnant? Won't he do it?
Yourself.
Today's calendar, make your intentions to always magnify love. Make your intentions to always magnify love. But seriously, listen, this guy.
The possibility that you look at me differently, love.
He's a chef, and he should stay in his gifting. Have you been enjoying your countdown to 2020 videos? I have been loving them. You see, I've been sharing them. They are. I said those messages are timeless.
You're above. You're what they call it?
You're
before your time.
I'm before my time.
But you're right on time.
But I'm right on time.
So y'all just got to get with it. They got to get with it. They're gonna get left behind. Man. Get with it. They get left behind.
And so we gotta be willing to evolve, to change. As we said, you gotta make sure that you tune in. Sometime tomorrow, we'll be back here at 9 p.m. Don't know what the topic is. If you guys have some topics that you would like to hear our perspective on tomorrow, feel free to put in the comments what you would like to hear us talking about. Let me know. What is next? That's it. Don't forget to sign up your amazing kids for the IC Me Academy. It is going to be worth every stinking piece of moment. It is going to be amazing. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I do.
The kids are excited. What you say?
They do. I cook what they want for the birthday.
Yes, and do you know what they put on the menu? They want lasagna. They want shrimp pasta with bow tie noodles. Rondell does this shrimp pasta. It's so good. They want it. So because they're twins, Rayvon, big man, his favorite is lasagna, and Rayvon's favorite is anything seafood. So we're gonna do a shrimp pasta and a lasagna, some corn on the cob, and some bread and a happy birthday cake. So they're excited. Everybody's sad it's pandemic. They can't get a party, but guess what? We're gonna make the best out of it. On Saturday, we're gonna do a Zoom party for them, and so I will send if anybody interested in joining the Zoom party where they can see you and you can say happy birthday to them on Saturday. Please message me, and I will make sure you get a link and you can be invited into our new style birthday celebrations. And you know what I love most about this season is quality over quantity, and we got to start spending quality time with each other. We got to understand what it means to be new school, old school, to take a little bit from what they taught you and add a little bit of the spice onto what you have, because we are definitely living in a new time, in a new season, and we don't actually know what they're preparing themselves for. And so we can pay attention to the climate, pay attention to our surroundings, pay attention to what they are exposed to, and then take a little bit from what we learn, because there's some things that we learn that can benefit, and there are some things that we can change that can also benefit. So I think that we got to be real conscious of how we are parenting, because we are making some very serious impressions. And the kids grow up in the shape of what life was like. They grow up with those feelings of childhood. And, that's what we carry with us. And so let's be more conscious, be more intentional, and most importantly, love on each other. Let's love on each other. Let's love on our kids. Let's love on our kids. They need it more than ever. They're in this pandemic. They are bored. They are losing their minds. They're not used to this. There's never been a time in the history of the world where kids were out of school for almost a year. So I really hope that you are spending some much needed quality time, having real transparent conversations. Like, ask them how they feel. Ask them, how's it going? Don't just tell them it should be easy because they're home.
Having real transparent conversations with your future.
With your future legacy builders. They are building the
your
legacy.
Children decide whether you go to a nursing home or the room downstairs. Mm-hmm. Keep that in mind and treat them accordingly.
Absolutely. And so that's important. That's important. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Become Your Magic Power Hour. I thought you guys would have more comments about old school versus new school, but I guess don't nobody give a damn. You do what you're doing. You do what you're doing, because I think that's the good part. There are no rules. I think the reason why it's old school versus new school is because the old school people want to tell what the new school ain't doing right. But I can honestly say that the new school didn't get as much help as the old school, because I surely remember spending a lot of time in my grandparents' house. And I can't say that my kids done the same. Now, some of us are lucky. I got some people hearted up who get that experience, but I'm just saying. Some old school, listen, it was a support system. It was, grandma, you didn't need no food, you didn't need no clothes, honey. It was you and all your cousins over there. You hear me? So I remember that. So I think that it's easy to say how easy it is to do stuff when you're not the one doing it. So I think you should not worry about getting people to understand how you choose to do what you do, as long as it's working for you. old school, new school, it doesn't matter. Make sure that while they're going to school, meaning in your house, while you're schooling them, those are your fish. You are leading them to where you want them to go. Right. That you are intentional about how you're baiting them, that you're intentional about how you are feeding them, that you are intentional about how you are showing up for them, because one day they will sit in that seat and remember how you showed up for them and what significant part that played. So let's make sure that we're getting more ups and less downs, because we are actually having real conversations. We want to know about them. We care. We really care about what they need, and that they matter, that their voice matters, that how they feel matters, that their secrets matters, that their pains matter, how they feel about you. Let them be honest.
Feelings, period.
You know, maybe you want to sit down with your kids and say, and I'm not going to be mad. Tell me how I make you feel. Do you feel like you can trust me? Do you feel like you can talk to me? Do you think that I'm going to judge you? I mean, those are real conversations, because if they don't have you, who do they really have?
My kids are, Dad, you think you know everything? I said, shit, I don't think I know everything, but I know more than you.
And trust me, he hear that, or they think they know everything.
I give them advice and let them go. Then they have to come back and say,
you were right. You know?
Right.
So it's working out.
It's just that conversation right there. A lot of people can't come back and say, Dad, you're right, because you never gave them no instruction.
That's true.
Dad, you're right.
I like that. I like that. Scary conversations, but real. Yeah, real ones. Like those hard conversations where you have to sit down and be like, this is what it is, to make sure nobody touches you the wrong way. I mean, there's so many hard conversations that must be had, that they must be brave enough to say everything and anything to you.
They are scary. These are scary.
They are very scary conversations.
You have to have them.
But you have to be brave enough.
We got the results.
Yeah.
We got the results, man.
You got to be brave enough to have them, because you will love what comes out of those conversations.
My kids will cuss you out in English, French, or Chinese. You got the results,
and
man.
And that's real talk.
Because I ain't sweating that bullshit. I ain't sweating that.
Yeah. The things that matter,
Put
they
your
know they
energy
matter.
on the real stuff, man. There's too much real stuff going on in this world, man. Yeah. And you can't even lie. Like, even us, they could lie to us. Oh, we such and such, such and such. I can't lie to my kids. Mm-hmm. My kids Google me. Guess what they saw?
It's past.
Google me, and you'll see what they saw. So you can't even lie to the kids now. Yeah. They got Google. So just have the real conversation that you need to have, man. Like I say, continue to groom your children to be adults. Mm-hmm. That's your responsibility. That's just your job.
And to be honest about transparency, so that they don't make the same mistakes. They don't think you could talk to them because they think you don't know nothing.
Girl, I used to drink.
Can you tell me?
Like some parents may be recovering, or they may be still alcoholics raising their kids. You tell your kids, man, look at me. You want to be like this? I'm an alcoholic because of this, and this.
Real conversation. Yeah.
And I'll be so farther in life if I didn't do this.
Yep.
It sounds crazy, but I mean, it's really that simple.
Say sorry as often as you can.
Always apologize.
When you're wrong. Always. Yeah. Let them know that people that love you can apologize.
Yeah.
That, it's not a pass for some, because they love you, that they don't have to acknowledge.
That's one thing mama never apologized.
Yeah. So I think that's a good old versus new. Being able to apologize, because I think old versus new, it is hard to apologize. And I'm talking about now.
So that's either saying she was always right,
or you was always wrong.
Or she just, I don't know. I just never got no apology. So
yes, Melissa says, I like that. It is scary conversations, but real. The last thing I want is for my kids to make my mistakes. Exactly. And so that's why we got to be transparent. They got to trust us.
A lot of us don't even know what mistakes. The kids don't even know mistakes you made. They probably look at you like, you don't know nothing. She don't know nothing. She can't tell me.
Tess, I try to hide a lot of it.
My mom just go to church. She don't know nothing about this street stuff. Not knowing your mama was the biggest gangster in the neighborhood. Your mom used to rob banks. You don't even know. You come to find out stuff later on.
That's why I said God cannot get the glory until you tell your story. Your story is how they know your abracadabra.
Some of the stuff that my parents went through and had to go through, I need to hear that stuff, man, because it would have prepared me for situations that I got into when I got older. But I had to learn on my own.
Yeah,
I had to learn on my own. I had to learn people to key for $300. I had to learn that. I didn't know.
That's what I was saying, Melissa. That was key right there, because that's why I made that point. Just like you're saying, it's not about. That's what I'm saying. It's time you have to apologize when they're a kid. A lot of times we got apologies as adults, but I'm saying if you're a parent with kids growing up, exactly, Melissa, it's important that we apologize in the moment, so they can get used to that, other than having to uncover that later and then recognize why they have that problem. So if you can acknowledge when you're wrong, they'll know that people that love them can say when they're wrong. So they won't make exceptions for that when they grow up. Like, we actually train their mindset. Like, we train them to sit at the table and eat food that they didn't like. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention. Old school, you had to sit at the table, eat that food, whether you liked it or not. And for my kids, I always say, you need to taste it. If you do not like it, okay, but I want you to taste it. But I don't want to get them to think that you sit and eat stuff that you don't like.
Bull crap. Like, I had to sit there and eat food that was terrible. Oh, y'all, terrible. Salmon patties with white rice. No gravy, no nothing. Just dry salmon patty and white rice, yo. Nothing to drink. That's like damn torture in jail. But one thing that I do remember that.
And that's as a kid.
One of my favorite moments, one of the best things my daddy ever did for me was we had got into it. But I wasn't wrong. He was wrong. He apologized to me in front of the whole church. And we was at a big church at this time. He called me to the front and apologized to me in front of all these people. And I always respect and love him for doing that. I'll never forget it. That's what it give me. My wife told me, if I'm wrong, I'm not, you don't admit when you're wrong. I'm not wrong. Why am I admitting to it if I'm not wrong? If I don't feel I'm wrong, I'm not going to be like, oh, okay, just for the sake of it. If I'm wrong, then I don't have a problem with apologizing, because that's what I want people to do for me. Apologize. You're wrong. Don't just make stuff up. Don't keep going.
But you know what I think?
You were wrong. So
you know what I think we misunderstand apology, what it's for? Is not about being right or wrong, because everybody has perspective. The apology is about how you make somebody feel sometimes. Sometimes you're just apologizing because you hurt somebody's feelings and that wasn't your intention. Doesn't matter how right you were. It matters how you made somebody feel. We're past the hour. Look, he's going to take me there.
Shoot the poem and we out. We got things to do.
So we got, I ain't got no,
free.
What poem we got? We about to drop out. We're going to drop out. Like I said, hit the link, hit the website. This is Become Your Magic Power Hour. You have any?
We are experts.
Parents.
Experts.
Experts soul coach. Mentoring the soul.
You had to have 5 kids that became NASA scientists.
Shut up.
5. Not even, you had to have 5 kids that became NASA scientists to top us, man. We do this thing. This is what we do.
Listen, Melissa talking about I was force fed too. LOL. That's why Ron became a chef. Those dry ass salmon patties.
I'm telling you, terrible.
Star says, I apologize all the time. I mean, it's key. It's important. Exactly. You apologize to not offend. That's it. Mama Faith said that's it. You got to apologize so that you don't offend somebody. That's it. My bad. That wasn't my intention. We got to misunderstand. I apologize if I made you feel that way. That was not my point.
Can you be cool with somebody that don't apologize?
Can you be cool? What's cool?
Cool. Like, you still hang out with somebody that did you wrong and doesn't apologize. Can you still be cool with that person? Not me, Jack. I don't need nobody.
I think his 1738 is clicking in. I'm about to take him off the camera right now. Okay, I think
none of y'all
is warming up on him.
What she do for me, you better believe that.
Melissa says, but can you mentor mine into being into those scientists that you're speaking of? Melissa said, can you mentor hers into
that's their passion? Yeah.
I'll be the proudest grandma. It depends on what the wrong was. Wait, what did you just say? What wrong?
She said it depends on what the wrong was. She can still hang out with people and be cool with them if they do her wrong.
Oh, yeah,
don't
yeah,
apologize. I can't. I don't give a damn what it is. You do some faster than me. No, we can have a conversation. Well, no, that's what the conversation is, man. You know what?
You hurt me, yeah.
My fault, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's over for me. It's over.
Yeah.
Once I get out, I'm sorry, or my fault, it's over.
Yeah, once you agree that, yeah. Listen, you gotta let me know that that ain't what you meant.
The only reason why is because if you do me wrong and I don't
acknowledge
it, and you don't acknowledge it, then
it's gonna happen again.
You do it over and over and over and over. So I'm not gonna be a part of that. You're gonna lose what I got because I'm a giver. We're givers. You can say what you want to say, but we're givers. You're gonna get more from us than you give us. So with that being said, oh, you gotta come apologize, sweetie.
Don't forget, hit that link, Become Your Magic Power Hour, where we speak about different abracadabra moments that led us to our magic. The magic of being parents that I can say we're proud of. Kids that we're proud of. Just knowing that we didn't know all the answers, but we were willing to do the work. We were willing to figure it out, and we were willing to show up. And life is about just showing up. If we can dare to show up, to be our best selves, to fix what was wrong in our lives in order to increase the experience of the children that are coming through us, because we're all a part of each other's bloodline. And so it's called generation to generation. And so if you want to empower the next generation, try to empower yourself through whatever it is that's going to encourage them to take old school plus new school and make it a whole better environment. And I think we can take a little bit from each other in order to make life great, because that's what makes stuff better. A little bit of you, a little bit of me makes life a whole lot perfect. So I love you guys. Again, I say, don't forget to hit that link. Don't forget to register your kids. I'm telling you, it's going to be a good time. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of those souls. Remember, it is a relay race, and somebody is relying on you to turn your heartbeat into a soul beat in order to leave a soul print. Because the fingerprint, it tells us what you got wrong in this world, but the soul print, it tells us what you got right. And what God got right is you. And so I want you to understand that you can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So say live in this world so somebody can find their way out of the darkness. I love you guys. Flip those switches. Take care of your souls. Remember, you are somebody. That the I am that you look to yourself to be is what you show up in. So you can only be the person that you can see. Do your work. See you later. And remember, I choose me. # no more excuses, because you were born enough. Thank you for clocking in, tuning in, plugging in to Become Your Magic Power Hour. Until tomorrow, take care of those souls. Love you. Bye-bye.